July fed into August with deeper heat and storms lashing across the Mediterranean. The U.S. felt distant, its problems locked behind silence and ocean wide. Staff was not rotated out. Despite that, everyone eyed each other nervously in the halls of the embassy, but no one knew why. Or at least no one would admit to knowing why. Outside the embassy, Irina spent most of her free time with Byron. Compiling information on home became more of a mission than finding allies or securing promises of weapons. Michael's job was to keep their superiors happy. Hers was to know why they really wanted the information they asked for, hoping this new chaos would end soon. She wanted her country to return to emerging out of the decade of darkness that had plagued it before. She had believed in the future she and Michael had mapped out before coming to Europe. Weekends away to Marco's boat made her miss Michael's company, but they proved to be worthwhile as her network grew, though not every moment was an investigation. As if sensing the strain, Byron worked hard to distract her. The night spent drinking wine and talking with Byron until dawn jarred her when she returned to the embassy. She lived two lives, not always certain which was meant to be the serious and which promised moments of fun. As the months turned toward a slight coolness of promised fall, Irina began to hope for a return to normalcy. No new information on attacks came from any source. In fact, information on some admitted problems, dealt with now, did come through the official channels. The embassy no longer felt oppressive, even if people watched each other from the corner of their eye.
"We could go to the Pyrenees this weekend. We haven't gone hiking in years,"
Michael said.
"I think there is a ball at the Chinese embassy to celebrate Mooncake Day."
"Of course."
It was Michael's flat tone that pulled Irina's eyes away from the autumn jackets in the window display. She made a mental note of the store name, not daring to buy a coat that expensive while out with Michael, especially considering his mood. Catching up to his side as he paced away, Irina threaded her arm under his, clasping his hand.
"You've been away every weekend since—" "I can't remember the last time you were home,"
he said, injured hurt in his eyes.
"I know, I'm sorry. You're right. We should go away. Hiking sounds nice."
And a weekend with her husband would seem a rational reaction to save their marriage. People would expect that.
"It wouldn't be so bad if—"
Michael stopped, turning his face away.
"If what?" "Michael!"
The confusion cemented into a terrified truth when Irina saw the tears in his eyes. Her thought of needing to pretend to save her marriage the moment before sickened her stomach further.
"I've never cheated on you, I swear! I haven't so much as kissed him!"
Michael's eyes shimmered as he held back whatever emotion rose. Irina couldn't read his face. Desperate to understand her husband, and realizing she didn't, made her shake.
"What do you do on those weekends away, then?"
he asked, voice harsh. He stared at her, not reaching to erase the tears leaving cold lines on her cheeks.
"Talk. He tells me about growing up here and life in Spain."
Michael snorted.
"You expect me to believe that?"
Hearing it, Irina didn't believe it. She fumbled to explain the truth, while the strategic part of her mind caught the people staring at them, giving a wide berth as they walked by. Perfect, her mind hummed. This will make the affair seem that much more real.
"You agreed to this,"
she hissed, not wanting her words to carry.
"I've told you everything."
"Do you know how many people have come to warn me about you and Byron?
I have seen you together, you know. You are more than friends. I think you forgot to mention that."
Standing in front of Michael while trembling so that her hands shook, Irina wanted to scream.
"I haven't done anything wrong!"
The other side of her counted every weekend away and the time she hadn't given Michael her attention but had given it to Byron. She couldn't remember the last time she'd kissed Michael. Her mind repeated that thought over and over. She couldn't remember the last time she'd really kissed the man she married. Now he was staring at her like she was a stranger. And she was. She didn't know who she'd become. Almost become? Michael waited for her answer, expression a storm of anger and separation. As if to add the final insult, her phone rang. Fumbling it out of her pocket, she could barely read the number. It was Byron. Of course. Michael laughed a cold rasp as who was calling registered on her face.
"Go on. Answer it."
"No."
She flicked it off and shoved it back in her pocket before she threw it against a wall. Anger cleared her mind, erasing the trembling in one rush.
"I can't do this. Not anymore."
Michael paled, swallowing hard. A bit of the anger was replaced with an expression she recognized at last. He was afraid. She managed the next words with warmth, fueled by emotions other than a desire to lash out.
"Michael, Nothing is worth losing you. We can go home if that is what you want. If that is what it takes. Things seem less crazy back there. But either way, I'm not doing this anymore.
His phone rang in answer. He tensed when he saw the number on the screen.
Call him back.
What?
Something has happened. Call him back and see what he knows. I've got to go in. But...
He turned back to her, hazel eyes dark again.
This isn't over. Be home tonight. God damn it! Come home tonight or it is over.
He left her standing in the boulevard, people glancing at her as they walked by. She was trembling again when she hit redial.
Arina, why didn't you answer? There has been...
Byron?
We need to talk.
She managed to choke out before she started crying.